Let's come back and tell you what's happening in the camp of the Nazi Millionaires, Heartland Football Club of Owerri. Well, this team will be playing in the Nigerian National League, the second tier level football in the country. The Nazi Millionaires, formerly known as Spartans, also formerly known as Iwuanyanwu National. But these days, they are known as the Nazi Millionaires and also known officially as Heartland Football Club of Owerri. What's happening to one of the darling teams from the southeast region, the Nazi Millionaires, playing in the National League? Now, the story this morning is that Heartland Football Club of Owerri, they have embarked on a major restructuring as they prepare for life in the second tier football, talking about the Nigerian National League next season. Now, following their relegation from top flight football, the Nigerian Premier Football League, at the end of last season, the Nazi Millionaires Heartland Football Club of Owerri, they have relieved the 3 members of their technical crew of their duties. Now, these coaches have been asked to leave. The affected coaches include Charles Uzo, former player Emmanuel Olowo, and of course their former player Ikechukwu Tangod. Now, this trio of coaches were with the club last season, but the management of the club have decided that Charles Uzo, Emmanuel Olowo, and Ikechukwu Tangod should leave as coaches of the team. Now, a top official, while confirming the development in Owerri to Magic FM, described the move as part of football's natural cycle. Now, the official, who craved anonymity, told us that it's a normal thing in the game, relieving some staff of their duties. In this case, he says coaches at the end of the season is not new in football. Every organization takes stock and makes projections for the coming year. Like players, coaches they move on or get sacked. He says Heartland will be competing in the Nigerian National League and does not require an oversized squad or bloated backroom staff. And look at that, the restructuring of Heartland Football Club is expected to continue as the club works towards stabilizing in the Nigerian National League, the NNL, and pushing for a quick return to the top flight. Anyways, so that's what it is. Coach Emmanuel Amunike is still in charge of Heartland Football Club, and they're actually trying to sign on players that will play for them in the second tier football, the Nigerian National League. The Nazi Millionaires, they've had problems upon problems. Well, I don't know the year Heartland will learn their lessons. In the last 3-4 seasons, it's been relegation, get back to top flight football. The next year, they are back to a second tier football. What could be the problem? Right there in the camp of the Nazi Millionaires. This time around, no more buying of slots. And Coach Amunike told the government of Imo State that he wants to play in the second tier league, the Nigerian National League. So let's see if Heartland Football Club of Owerri will bounce back. And like I said earlier on, they are one of the top teams in the country when it comes to club football. They were so good in the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s, but what's happening to them now? So many fans in Owerri, most of them have now switched to supporting a new sheriff in town, which is Kun Khalifat Football Club of Owerri. In fact, Kun Khalifat Football Club on match day 2 will be up against Remo Stars, defending champions of the league, right there at the Danayam Stadium this weekend. So if you go to Owerri, there's a new sheriff in town, and that is Kun Khalifat Football Club, maybe replacing Heartland of Owerri in the Nigerian Premier Football League.